edition of Carolina Week.
State workers are watching the legislature closely, and this year's budget could have them singing a happy tune.
And secondhand smoke might be even more harmful than doctors and researchers originally thought.
In sports, it's time for the emotional leader of the Tar Heel basketball team to start making some serious dough.
Weathercaster Shelly Basinger is here with your 4-day forecast.
All that in a local park with perks. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Hello and welcome to the July 5th edition of Carolina Week. I'm Lindsay Michael.
And I'm Caitlin Kleinard. Lawmakers are hammering out final details in regard to this year's state budget, deciding what to do with the $2 billion surplus. The budget for this fiscal year, which started July 1st, might be about 10% higher than last year. That could mean a pretty nice salary raise for state employees. State employees are critical to keeping the university running. The proposal would give them a 5.5% raise, the biggest they've seen in 16 years. Teachers and college faculty members are looking at a 6 to 8% raise as well. That means they'll have bigger paychecks to bring to banks like the State Employees Credit Union. Associate Professor Boyd Switzer has been a UNC faculty member for 34 years and thinks this is good news for the university. Governor Mike Easley praised the proposal. He thinks it's a clear indicator that education is a top priority in North Carolina. The university actually gets less than a third of its operating budget from state funds. In 1999, state appropriations made up 30% of UNC's budget. That figure fell to 25% during the 2002-2003 fiscal year. In the past fiscal year, state funds covered about 22% of the university's overall budget. The rest comes from tuition, research grants, and private gifts, increasingly important funding sources.
Still, the university wouldn't be here without state support, which means a good relationship with the legislature is vital to UNC's success. Jessica Floyd introduces us to our main contact with lawmakers in Raleigh.
Kevin Fitzgerald. He works for Carolina, but he doesn't spend much of his time in Chapel Hill. Instead, he spends long hours in this building in Raleigh. So what exactly does he do?
I'm the eyes and the ears of Carolina here at the General Assembly.
Communication is necessary for all friendships, and Fitzgerald makes sure that UNC communicates effectively with its friends in the legislature.
If you look around, what you see is Carolina has a long, important tradition of the state making a signature investment for education.
Keeping UNC in good standing with the state means that the university will continue to receive more than $400 million each year for educational improvements through the legislature. That's more than double the amount brought in by tuition. Fitzgerald says one aspect of improvement that comes from that money is apparent to anyone who walks through UNC's campus: construction.
We're in the middle of a $1.8 billion worth of construction. Every one of those projects, in one way or another, were either approved or funded by the state.
Although Fitzgerald doesn't get to spend much time enjoying the campus improvements he lobbies for, he's happy with the role he plays.
You've got your hand on the very essence of the challenges for the state. And, you know, when you're working on good stuff, it's fun to go to work.
Fitzgerald says he'll continue to work with lawmakers to keep Carolina ranked among the top public institutions in the country. In Chapel Hill, I'm Jessica Floyd, Carolina Week.
Fitzgerald has been in the role for 4 years. This year's budget will raise faculty salaries and fund a new science building. And in North Carolina, there's one special place to brag about on the 4th of July. Welcome to Fort Bragg, home of Airborne and Special Forces. Fort Bragg hosted 4th of July festivities. Thousands of people attended Operation Celebrate Freedom. The day-long celebration included rides, entertainment, and the March of Flags, during which each state and unit flag is introduced and saluted by cannon fire.
The 4th of July provides plenty of ways to celebrate with family and friends. Kenan Stadium hosts people from the community every year for sunset fun and music on Independence Day. Country band Last Man Standing entertained the crowd, which started gathering about 7 in spite of the heat. Red, white, and blue fun included patriotic gifts at the gate, refreshments, and balloon animals from a clown. This little guy here was just happy to wave his flag. Inside the stadium, R&B band Location had a few people out of their seats and the crowd kept growing. Chapel Hill Parks and Recreation organized the event.
Opportunity for families to come out together and enjoy themselves. I think it's a great opportunity to enjoy the beautiful sight of Kenan Stadium and a nice July evening to celebrate our independence.
Then finally at 9:30 came the show everyone had been waiting for, the fireworks.
Another 4th of July tradition is the neighborhood cookout with cold drinks and plenty of hot dogs. Carolina Week reporter Ashley Perryman set out to discover why hot dogs are the national favorite.
Smoking grills ignite across the country every 4th of July as Americans gather around the picnic tables to celebrate our freedom. Nearly 90% of those smoking grills are roasting the same thing, hot dogs. 10% of all hot dog consumption occurs in July, and the month has been named National Hot Dog Month. It's estimated that we consume 150 million hot dogs on Independence Day, with Southerners eating the lion's share. It's not simply a food for convenience. Many people, like Tiffany Kiefer, say hot dogs are their favorite food.
And I'm pregnant. My little baby already loves hot dogs. It's her favorite food, too.
Hot dogs, chopped into tiny pieces, are usually the first solid meat toddlers get to eat. Health concerns in the past years have ushered in lower-fat versions of hot dogs, but those sales constitute only about 12% of the market. When you throw on condiments and a little chili and cheese, it adds up to a hefty nutritional bill. But picnickers seem to agree it's worth it.
While the hot dog may be German in origin, over the years it's become an American icon. David Link says it's not just a traditional comfort, it's a metaphor.
All parts of animals come together in the hot dog and form one singular entity. Just like America is a solid, united, slightly squishy like a hot dog entity.
There's no question about it. There's just something about hot dogs that brings people of all kinds together. Enjoy a hot dog this month. From Chapel Hill, I'm Ashley Perryman, Carolina Week.
Hot dog season stretches from Memorial Day to Labor Day, during which Americans will spend an estimated $614 million on hot dogs.
Have you ever thrown a party that included a keg of beer? Buying a keg of beer might not be so easy if a new bill is passed. State legislators are discussing a bill that would require sellers to issue permits. Lawmakers hope this will cut down on underage drinking at parties and make it easier to find the people who supply alcohol to teens. Some students like Stacy Dunn think the bill is unfair.
I'd rather the person that's underage be personally responsible for not drinking than the person who buys the keg. I think it's a little bit too much responsibility on the person buying the keg.
Other students say they'll just start buying cases of beer instead, which could make selling kegs a lot less profitable.
And talking on your cell phone while driving could be just as dangerous as driving drunk. Researchers from the University of Utah found that the level of impairment while driving and talking on your cell phone is very similar to driving with a blood alcohol content of 0.08. The study found that cell phone users were 5 times more likely to get in a car accident than other drivers were. State legislatures in several states have already banned the use of handheld cell phones while driving.
Well, who would have thought that twisting and contorting your back could actually help relieve pain?
When we come back, we'll show you how these exercises may help reduce your pain.
Where's the whole week? Where's the whole week? Hey, excuse me?
Excuse me, sir, something wrong?
Yeah, there's something wrong. You want to get me some whole wheat? Oh, come on. Hey, hey, amigo. Hey, I asked you for whole wheat bread. This is not what I wanted. El Rito.
Sorry for the confusion.
You know, that's the problem with these people. If you want to serve Americans, you got to learn to speak the language. You know what I'm saying?
No, sir. I don't. Enjoy your lunch.
Imagine the power of one voice. Click freedomcenter.org to find yours.
You don't have to be a smoker to be at risk for smoking-related diseases. A recent federal study confirms earlier reports that any level of exposure to secondhand smoke can lead to serious health risks. Catherine Harrell has the story.
Secondhand smoke isn't only annoying, but in fact very threatening to one's health. Secondhand smoke can lead to deadly diseases such as heart disease and lung cancer. Megan Sensi's grandmother died of lung cancer. She knows the harmful effects of secondhand smoke all too well.
She never smoked a day in her entire life and was around my grandfather who smoked every day of his life, so inside the house all the time, so she was constantly around it. And she actually got lung cancer, and while he lived his entire life with no health problems regarding smoking.
North Carolina is home to one of the biggest tobacco companies in the world. Therefore, many of our smoking laws in public places are much more lenient than those of other states. However, managers of individual public places can decide to ban smoking in their own facilities. Carolyn Mulvihill is a hostess at the Weather Vane. She says smoking isn't allowed anywhere in the restaurant.
We find that customers enjoy that. A lot of people don't like to be around smoking. I believe actually the bar is actually non-smoking as well. So in this day and age, their businesses are becoming less and less smoker friendly, and I've noticed that in the different jobs I have worked in at restaurants and things like that.
Secondhand smoke can also increase the health risks for children whose parents smoke. It also accounts for 50,000 deaths in the U.S. each year. In Chapel Hill, I'm Catherine Harrell, Carolina Week.
North Carolina law prohibits local government from banning smoking in public places.
And smoking will cost you a bit more this week than it did last week. A new cigarette tax is burning holes in the wallets of North Carolina smokers. Saturday, the tax per pack of cigarettes increased to 35 cents. That might seem high, but it's a bargain compared to the national average, which is almost $1 a pack. Legislators hope the new tax will decrease the number of smokers in the state, but some people say it won't stop them from smoking.
I'll keep smoking, but I might need to switch brands coming up before too long, because it's going to bring it up just under $4 a pack on my brand, and the only other place I know it's $4 a pack is heading up north, and I ain't going there.
In addition to the cigarette tax, North Carolina lawmakers also voted to increase penalties for not getting out of the way of emergency vehicles and to offer protections for buyers of manufactured homes.
Temperatures have been in the mid to upper 90s lately, and with the heat index, it feels even hotter. Several problems can result from prolonged exposure to the sun, ranging from sunburn to heat stroke, which can be deadly. Some ways to keep cool this summer are drinking plenty of water, staying out of the sun, and wearing lightweight clothing. These Chapel Hill residents have a few ideas of their own to beat the heat.
To stay cool during the summer, I come out to the Mill Creek pool with all my friends, and during the summer, we live in H-Unit Mill Creek, and we all head up to Yogurt Pump.
Staying cool is important, but you should keep in mind that alcoholic beverages, though cold, are dehydrating, and sunburn makes it harder for your body to get rid of excess heat, so don't forget your sunscreen.
Many Americans, like you and me, experience back pain every day. Now, an old form of exercise and relaxation could be a new solution to ease our pain. Reporter Jerry Simmons has more.
If you're having back problems, you might want to consider yoga. A recent study published in Internal Medicine shows yoga could help your back pain. Michael King says he had to sit a lot because of his back injury, but says yoga has helped turn his life around.
I found that good results come from yoga, especially around the back, because the core of your body is that area. So I felt the strengthening and the effects of yoga.
And King isn't alone. Bob Nelson, director of this exercise center, says he's also seen the difference yoga makes with back pain.
Yoga has a great ability to improve our core strength of the abdominal muscles, low back muscles, hip stabilizer muscles, and that really translates into a reduction in back pains.
According to the study, adults with back pain who took yoga classes weekly for 3 months saw an increase in function and a decrease in the need for pain medication.
After 6 months, only 21% of the study participants who took yoga were taking medication for their back pain. Nelson says yoga has other benefits as well.
If you've had a bad day, yoga is great to go to a yoga class. You can really get relaxed.
Even if you don't have back pain, Nelson says yoga, along with some cardiovascular exercise, can lead to a healthy lifestyle. In Chapel Hill, I'm Jerry Simmons, Carolina Week.
And if yoga isn't your thing, there are other exercises that experts say will help ease back pain. Warm water aerobics, strength training, Pilates, and hamstring stretches are just a few.
Talking about those unhealthy hot temperatures, I haven't been able to go outside without sweating for the whole week. Is there any relief?
Well, there is a little relief inside. I'll tell you more about that later. I know I was at a cookout yesterday for the 4th of July, and we all just sat around fanning ourselves. You know, it was we were so uncomfortable. But it is 115 degrees in Death Valley, California. So if you ever think it's too hot here, just think about that. Could be worse. Could be worse. So the 4th of July was beautiful, but a bit hot. What will the weather look like through the weekend? We'll show you when we come back.
It's springtime in the forest of the black-tailed deer. The young male is feeling playful. It's time for tag. The female flicks her ears. Her way of saying, "Catch me if you can."
To change the world, you don't have to be rich or famous or play ball or lead countries. All you have to do is tell your family you want to be an organ donor. Talk to your family about organ donation. Talk to your family about donating life.
Welcome back to Carolina Week Weather. I'm weathercaster Shelley Basinger. Now, you might have noticed that it got a little hot last week. You might have seen some fireworks, but you probably felt the heat wave as our temperatures got into the mid-90s and upper 90s in some parts. But like summertime, we also have strong thunderstorms, and that comes in and breaks up the heat for us. And we're going to see after the next couple days more like the 80s instead of the 90s. And I love the 80s. So we'll take a look at the surface map and we'll see what's going to happen through our area. We'll see this area of low pressure moving through the area. This is an area of high pressure. They're not seeing any rain right now. And definitely off here to the west coast, they're also dry. But right through here is where all these thunderstorms are moving through because this air was so warm and so humid that once this cold front moved through, it's just creating a band of thunderstorms through this area. Let's take a look at the satellite map and we'll see how big this area really is, stretching all the way up to New England. And what this is going to do, it's not going to sit on us like our other storm front that moved through last week. It just sat on us and everywhere was flooded. This one's going to move through really quickly and push out very soon out to the coast. So next couple days, we should see some relief from the rain and see those cooler temperatures. Let's zoom in a little bit on the radar and look at this band of storms moving through Kentucky and Tennessee. We're going to see some of that into the Appalachian Mountains very soon. And we're going to see this move into our area coming in around tomorrow about in the morning and all day. We're not going to see much relief from rain tomorrow. So let's take a look at our 4-day forecast and we'll see what these temperatures are going to look like. Tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to have thunderstorms all day, but look at that, 74 degrees. That's a big difference from, I think, 95, 96 we saw in the past few days. I know my car temperature thermometer said 107 when I got in the other day, so 74 is a good break from that. Low 60s on Thursday. Friday, partly cloudy, clears up, and those 80s, I love the 80s once again. 81, low of 60 on Saturday. It's going to be sunny and beautiful, high of 82, a low of 61. And on Sunday, high of 87, we're creeping back up, but I think we're going to stay in the 80s for the next week. If you're heading out to the beach, take a look at those temperatures. The beautiful weekend, high of 83 and a low of 67 on Saturday. And then on Sunday, high of 86, low of 69. Now there's going to be a chance of thunderstorms for both of those days. This is the summertime and you can't say there won't be thunderstorms. About a 30% chance of rain for those days on the beach. So just keep that in mind if you go to the beach this weekend. Take a look at our mountain forecast if you're heading the other direction. We have a chance of thunderstorms there as well, so it's kind of iffy as if we'll see any rain in the mountains. High of 74 and a low of 56 on Saturday, and on Sunday, high of 77 and a low of 57. Now it is hurricane season, so let's take a look at the hurricane names we have for the 2006 Atlantic storm names. Now we already had Alberto move in, and the next storm name is Beryl, which I think is an interesting name. I've never heard that before. And then we have Chris and Debbie, and you can read the rest of them there. So we haven't gotten into the peak of hurricane season yet. That comes around August or September. So we haven't gotten there yet. We've only seen a couple things. So hopefully it won't be as bad as it was last year because we saw a lot of storms.
We did.
And they're predicting, they're predicting a bad season again.
When does it officially start, the hurricane season?
Officially starts June 1st and it goes through November 30th, which I didn't realize it was that late. So
long season.
Yes. So
well, let's hope for the best with that.
Definitely.
Thanks, Shelley.
Thanks, Shelley. All right, well, sportscaster Philip Jones joins us now, and the World Cup teams are set.
Yeah, the finals for Sunday in Berlin will be between France and Italy. France defeated Portugal Wednesday afternoon 1-0. But locally, coming up in sports, it's UNC Basketball Junior Edition. After the break, we'll show you why several young ladies have hit the court here at Carolina.
You know, this used to be a good neighborhood. Now it's a mess. You got all these polyps running around. Sneaking of the devil.
Colon cancer almost always starts with the polyp. Get the polyp early and stop colon cancer before it even starts.
Where'd you think you were running to, huh?
I didn't even see you guys there.
Get the test, get the polyp,
I want to talk to my lawyer!
get the cure.
I got a phone call!
Take a pop quiz with me. In what film did I feel a need for speed? What was my call sign? Who did I sit behind in the F-14? Oh, and one more question. Who does your kid sit behind in homeroom?
Know what really matters. Know about your kid's school and know about your kid. Find out 100 ways to know more, do more.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Philip Jones. In 2002, Carolina offered David Noel, then an incoming freshman from Durham, an athletic scholarship to play football. Now, 4 years and a national championship later, Noel is headed to the pros to play basketball. Reporter Ryan Ball has more.
After 4 years above the rim at UNC, David Noel is taking his game to the next level. The Carolina senior was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks as the 39th pick in the 2006 NBA draft. After winning the NCAA championship as part of the 2005 Tar Heels, Noel returned this season as a veteran leader on a young team and guided the Heels to a 23-8 record. Known most for his high-flying dunks, Noel has quietly developed into an all-around talent. This season he racked up 23 blocks, 34 steals, 107 assists, and one critical game-winning three-pointer. Look for Noel to see a lot of time on the court in Milwaukee, as long as he leaves the pink wig behind. In Chapel Hill, I'm Ryan Ball, Carolina Week Sports.
Now, as a side note to that story, Noel doesn't typically wear that outfit to games. It's more of a casual comfort thing. I think it's something he stole out of Lindsay's closet. But other ACC notables drafted include Duke's Sheldon Williams and J.J. Redick, who went at number 5 and 11, respectively. I'm going to pay for that in just a minute. NC State's Cedric Simmons was the 15th pick. Well, lots of young people would love to follow in Noel's footsteps and maybe one day play in the NBA or WNBA. Many of them start on that path by attending basketball camp, like the one led by Carolina women's head coach, Sylvia Hatchell.
You can move it around, you can dribble in place, pick it up whenever you feel like it. Ready?
This is Hatchell's largest individual summer camp ever, with more than 600 girls attending this week's session. The camp consists of group instruction as well as some one-on-one training. These girls are working hard all week to better themselves by learning from the best. With lots of attention from Coach Hatchell, you can bet these girls will leave better than when they came. All of Carolina Week's sports teams have wrapped up their seasons and are looking toward next year, when most of them will play half of their games or matches at home. Reporter Lacey Rentel shows us that for the men's golf team, the number of home events is actually 0.
Finley Golf Course is one of the most beautiful golf courses in the country, and it's just 2 miles from the UNC campus. The men's golf team practices at Finley, but never gets to host tournaments there. Senior Fernando Figueroa says hosting golf tournaments takes a lot more than just having a nice course.
You need to close down the golf course, which takes a lot of money.
getting the golf course ready. You host about anywhere from 10 to 15 teams, so it's a 4-day event that takes much more time and a lot more manpower than just any other match or a soccer game.
There's a tradition of school spirit at UNC. The men's golf players never get to experience Tar Heel fans or friends watching them play. Junior Reed Darcy says the team is fortunate there's no such thing as home field advantage in golf.
In basketball and football, you have, the opponent's crowd cheering against you, where in golf, it's just you versus the course.
Figueroa says he got to play at Finley once when he was a freshman and hopes changes will be made so this becomes a more common occurrence.
Hopefully our budget increases and the athletic director and the athletic department help a little bit more, and with the help of alumni, and host a tournament for the younger guys, and they get to experience the same feeling I did when I was a freshman.
The Heels hope that in the future they'll be able to host many tournaments on the beautiful Finley course. In Chapel Hill, I'm Lacey Rentel, Carolina Week.
And unlike the golf team, the football team will be at home for 7 games this fall, first of which is less than 2 months away, September 2nd.
Oh, we look forward to the start of that season.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Phil.
No problem.
Phil who?
Phil who, indeed.
Thanks,
Well,
Phil.
are you looking for a fun way to pass time this summer? When we come back, we'll take you to a park that offers more than the usual options for fun in the sun.
Sniffing things to get high can deprive your brain of the oxygen it needs to keep you alive.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Are you bored during the summer months with not enough schoolwork to do? Reporter Will Johnson has an answer for those summertime doldrums.
Always find people running or playing basketball at a park, but Homestead Park off of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard offers unique facilities that can be used to diverge from routine activities. Popping in $2 worth of tokens can get you practicing your swing at the park's batting cage. Balls shoot from a huge ball dispenser and can fly up to 95 miles per hour. Although some kids get the hang of it right away, others have a hard time even making contact.
It's been about 5 years since I've even swung a bat. So I used to play baseball in high school. You think it sticks with you, and then you get out here and it's a little bit harder than you remember.
Next to the batting cage is a 10,000 square foot skate park that has an assortment of high ramps and long rails suitable for every skateboarder or biker. The last facility is a Homestead Dog Park. Here, dogs of all sizes get to roam around freely without leashes and play with their owners. And dogs such as 5-year-old Lily seems to be appreciating it.
Most of the time the other dog's here, and so she can just go nuts, and I don't have to pay any attention. I can do my homework.
So whether it's hitting fast balls, skating down ramps, or getting Fido to fetch chew toys, Homestead Park has something for everyone. However, I'd follow the dog's advice of drinking plenty of water and staying in the shade during hot, sunny days. In Chapel Hill, I'm Will Johnson, Carolina Week.
Well, I know that when I get bored, I like to go outside, especially in the summertime, but with these temperatures being so high, we need to be careful with the heat stroke. But looks like it's going to be a little relief next week, so.
Yes, I hope so. Well, for more information on any of our stories, visit our website at www.carolinaweek.org. And that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Good night.